it's still the world of hard men and women. And I know that Operation Sindoor highlighted some of the women warriors.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
On the front lines.
That's right.
The front lines.
You need hard women and men doing hard things to dominate in battle.
Oh, that's a brilliant lesson. You're right. So in the Army Air Defense, one of our very strategic vital assets, Pakistan had tried to target it, and it used a lot of high-speed missiles. It used its drones. It used a lot of other stuff coming in. And there was this lady officer of Army Air Defense, and she was guiding her weapons to counter some of them. And, from the World War era Zu-23 ACAC gun to the L-70 to the Shilkas to the latest Akash missiles, everything was being used simultaneously in that operation.
And it only happens through a lot of training. So that moment of success only came after hours and hours of training and training and training more. And I even saw that within in India in general, talking about how right after the terrorist attack, they were still drilling for like incoming drones.
Yes.
All of that, you only get this dominance and this good performance through hours and hours of hard work.
What future do you see of warfare in this region? And since you were in Ukraine, you're looking at the Russia-Ukraine war. And now I want to move international. I want to ask you about Israel and Iran, Israel and Hamas. But first, Russia and Ukraine. Do you see intensification there?
Absolutely, because I believe that, there are things that are worth fighting and dying for, like sovereign borders, freedom. So in that case, but it at the scale that most people can't comprehend, 1 million plus men and women on both sides, static lines, but there are also differences and variations of breakthroughs. War is always a contest of will. And if anybody tries to come on your show and predict the future of that, then just throw them out, because there's so many variations. The European Union investing and matching certain investments in Ukraine. I believe personally from the history of war that freedom and democracy and things like that are worth fighting for. So I don't like when people say, what are they dying for? It's a intractable situation. The lines are frozen, all of that junk at this time. But Ukraine's fighting for its freedom. Russians are fighting for what Putin says they're fighting for. I don't agree with those, but as a warfare analyst, I understand why the lines are the way they are, why the drones are so pervasive, because both sides don't have air supremacy. I can't tell you where it's going to go. Hopefully it ends soon, but nobody knows.
And again, in Israel and Iran and Israel and Hamas, two different conflicts that are happening simultaneously, and Houthis still continue to pipe in. You see an escalation there too, because Israel, with all its might and American support, hasn't been able to put Iran down and out.
Yeah. It's an interesting one, again, and it coincided with Sindoor on helping people understand the difference between limited goals in a war and an unlimited goal. In the war against Hamas after the awful terrorist attack of October 7th, and there's so many similarities here globally, like how awful and vicious these terrorist attacks are, that the goal is to take Hamas out of power in that territory, take all their military capability. That's really hard for any military to do, let alone while you're fighting Hezbollah, the Houthis, Shia-backed militias in Iraq. As Syria starts to fall apart.
Then Assad regime,
the Assad regime. But with Iran, the goal was very limited. Another terrorist regime with a nuclear weapon the entire world doesn't want. Israel acted preemptively and achieved a limited success in stopping them from getting a nuclear war immediately. Doesn't mean anything's over, but there was dominance shown equally, and the objective was shown there. While Israel still has a lot to happen, but there's already talk of a possible hostage deal going on, as we might see this week, or if not, Israel's got to continue that operation, and it takes time.